A lot of the old original St. Mary's Todays.
When Ken Rosignol sold his small-town newspaper in January,
we have more of the front page DWI driver murders man.
This admitted smart aleck from Southern Maryland launched a website.
I haven't seen anything else like it.
It parlays his experience with his passion.
This is ridiculous.
A hatred for people who drink and drive.
They don't care. They have no respect for human life.
At DWIHitparade.com, Rosignol posts the names and mugshots of people arrested for driving while impaired.
Probably 20,000 names and probably pushing 1,000 pictures. I mean, I don't know. I haven't thought about it that hard.
He exposes identities and ridicules reckless behavior.
This girl, she goes out and kills this pastor in South Carolina. He's dead because she had to go to a party.
His goal is to convince just one person to be responsible.
All they have to do is call a cab. 25 bucks, you can get a cab most anywhere.
Well over 1,000 people have died in DUI crashes on area roads in the last 5 years alone.
And he just got, erased. Just erased.
Including Luke Whitebroad's older brother Rory, who along with friend Adam Hazinski were killed while crossing Rockville Pike by a speeding car.
I can't imagine a more traumatic way of dying than the way my son died.
The driver, Alex Roman, is now serving 12 years in prison. The DWI Hit Parade website has already been bookmarked by Rory's grieving family.
Hopefully this will make a mark and be able to expand people's knowledge about how horrific this type of crime is.
This personalizes what is a horrible national tragedy.
The motivation for Ken Rosignol's clearinghouse of missteps and heartbreak goes far deeper than his desire for a fresh headline. You see, his little brother Jack was killed by a drunk driver back in 1975. Maybe if this former newsman posts enough names and faces, his outrage will fade and someone will listen.
I hope it helps. I really do. I'm not optimistic.
Jay Korff, ABC 7 News.
We prayed for this place for years, and we believe that this is our land.
Pastor Alex Ansa considers his fight to transform an old crab house in Clinton, Maryland, into the new spiritual home for the International Praise Chapel.
This is supposed to be our main sanctuary.
The greatest test of his faith.
The guy that was responsible for this, just bailed out on us. Took our money and ran.
Church officials say they paid contractor Richard Hagler
I don't have anything to hide.
more than $42,000 to renovate this dilapidated building back in 2009.
All of a sudden, we saw a drag in the work.
But Hagler left several months into the job and never returned. And you walked away from the job.
And I walked away from the job.
Church officials say Hagler's work was, for the most part, so inept
He did it either partially or not at all.
that they had to hire a whole new team at a cost of more than $50,000 to fix Hagler's poor craftsmanship.
Improper landing areas, wrong opening sizes for doorways.
This framing has been torn down because he framed it incorrectly.
That's so far-fetched, and it's a lie.
Hagler blames his exit on church officials for guilting him into doing extra work, then refusing to pay him in full.
I signed a contract to help him out, but they kept promising me that it was going to be more money coming. Don't stop, just keep on working. So I kept working.
But according to state and county records, Hagler had no business doing any major work here. His license expired in April of 2009. He never called inspectors to check his work as required, and the biggest blunder of all, he never qualified for a building permit, according to the county.
So all that he did was done without permission from the county.
They don't have a leg to stand on. I did over $100,000 worth of work and they didn't get paid for it.
But how could you do all that work without a permit? Because according to the county, you're not supposed to do any of that stuff.
Okay. Now, you're right.
The pastor admits he didn't look as deep as we did into Hagler's credentials. Public records show Hagler has been sued or fined hundreds of thousands of dollars for shoddy work.
We are going to our promised land, and it's not smooth sailing.
This congregation's hope of worshiping under this roof by 2010 has been replaced by a painful and pricey reality that maybe by mid-2012, this dusty hall will gleam with God's glory.
He will bring us through, he will see us through, and we will possess this land. 1007 Brandywine Road is our home church, and we will be here.
When we arrived on the scene, firefighters were scrambling to get water on a blaze that was engulfing this third-floor apartment.
They were yelling like, "Get out the building, get out!"
We also heard the screams of residents trapped by the heavy smoke and intense flames, calling for help.
I heard banging at the door, but, and I heard people screaming, so that's when I knew it was a fire.
A man who tells us his name is Marley. He says he was in his apartment with his 3 young children, all under the age of 3. He asked me not show their faces. They live just below the apartment where the fire started.
The smoke alarms never went off, the fire alarms never went off, so by the time I know, the firemen kicking my door in.
Thanks to Marley's friend, Edward Andrews,
Flames started getting heavier.
who lives just across the street. He saw the smoke and rushed to help.
The fire was started getting heavier. And me and a couple of other people was banging on the windows.
I was in the cab on my way home. And when I got around the corner, all I could see was black smoke, and I'm just devastated.
Ruby Turner knew her son was inside their apartment, the fire blazing just above him.
I heard beating doors, I left out.
Firefighters were able to get him out from their balcony. This woman says her father lives in the apartment that caught on fire.
Nobody's inside? No, nobody's there.
Off Route 170 in Linthicum, Maryland, past an old mailbox, down a dirt road, sits a weathered home.
This is something that I should share with folks.
With an out-of-this-world, rarely seen, remarkable collection. On Thomas Atkinson's 13th birthday, he saw Star Wars, a film few thought would succeed.
I was totally blown away.
But the 1977 classic redefined the sci-fi drama.
Only your hatred can destroy me.
And inspired the creation of a toy empire large enough to defeat the dark side.
Most impressive. But you are not a Jedi yet.
Star Wars changed my life.
Atkinson's fancy for action figures
Use the Force, Luke.
grew into a passion and then an obsession.
This is an unusually large collection of Star Wars toys.
You see, this 46-year-old costume maker by trade
I really enjoy dressing up in my Jedi Knight robes.
has more than 13,000 Star Wars toys.
R2-D2, C-3PO, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Princess Leia.
His eclectic collection of Band-Aids, bags of chips, and bars of soap
Star Wars soap.
Smells pretty good.
filled one room, then spilled into a hallway, and now consumes his entire lower level.
It just kind of happened.
From the iconic to the inane,
Darth Tater.
you can watch Obi-Wan Kenobi age, play with relics factory-made and handcrafted,
It's an R2-D2 knit cap.
and above all, escape to an enchanted place.
This is a great toy. This is my very first lightsaber. It is simply a flashlight with a hollow tube attached.
A number of years ago, he made it official and named this place the Star Toys Museum. There's no admission, gift shop, welcome sign, or advertising budget here.
The volume of visitors is not high.
But inside this cluttered, dusty ode to Yoda and his apprentice,
The Force is strong with this one.
you can slip into a world of childhood dreams, fly among the stars, while battling the forces of evil.
And yes, the toys have taken over.